LA to Chicago 2 weeks? Yeah, literally exactly 2 weeks ago. Today marks 2 weeks of living in Chicago. It's actually kind of crazy. I can't tell if it feels like it's been longer than that or if it feels like it's been 2 days. But over the past 2 weeks, we've been settling in. We've been getting everything organized. I would say we're in a pretty good spot. I mean, there's still a lot left to do in terms of like decorating, in terms of like furnishing. Like we still have a lot to do, but I am ready. It's been 2 weeks exactly. I am ready to start figuring out a routine. I love the exploring that we've been doing. I love the like spontaneousness that we've been kind of approaching these first 2 weeks in Chicago. Like I love that, but it's definitely time for a routine. I'm the type of person, like I won't feel totally settled until like I have a bit of a routine going. I'm not saying I need to be following that routine. Like I could be breaking that routine every day, but I kind of like, for me as a person, I kind of need a routine to either follow or break to feel settled. You know what I mean? Like I need guideposts just to like feel settled and feel chill. And right now I have no guideposts. I have no like, okay, when I wake up, I do this. So this week, I would say this week is gonna be probably our first like normal work week. The first week we were here, we were obviously like moving in and taking off some days to do that. Second week, Miles was actually out of town, so I was just like hanging out here by myself. But this week we're both here, we're both working as normal. Like this is like our first kind of normal week. And so I just want to start figuring some stuff out. And the first thing to figure out, I'm a very food driven person. So the first thing to figure out is meals. If you guys have been watching for a while, you'll know that I go through phases with food and I go through phases with eggs. I was in a poached egg era for a while, but I get both like really obsessed with a type of egg and really egged out by a type of egg like very quick. And it's time, I need to figure out a new breakfast. And one of my YouTubers that I watch, her name is Julia Havens, she was making homemade egg bites and she was literally making them for her like literal infant baby. Not an infant, he's like a year old, but she was making them for a literal baby. But they look good and they look healthy and they look easy, and I like that you can meal prep them. I've never been the biggest fan of meal prepping just because like I haven't found anything yet that I'm like excited about. Well, two parts. Number one is it's hard to find things that I am excited about for like 5 days in a row. But when I do find something that I would be excited about 5 days in a row, it usually never keeps, and it's never just as good on day 5 as it is on day 1. So you gotta find something that hits those two buckets. You're excited about it for 5 days in a row and it's just as good on the 5th day. And I haven't figured that out yet, but I wanna start experimenting. And I think egg bites could be it. Okay, we're boiling water and we're preheating the oven. Once the water is boiled, we're gonna put it in here and we're gonna put this on the lower rack. But in the meantime, we're just gonna make muffin tin. We're gonna make it non-stick. Then in a blender, we're putting 6 eggs. That was all of my eggs. So I hope this is good. Boiling water is going in. Then 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. Then 1.5 cups of Gruyere. I'm doing cheddar because they didn't have Gruyere, so we'll just do it with cheddar this time. Any breakfast that allows me to eat 2 types of cheese. I'm here for it. Then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, black pepper. Then it says hot sauce, but I'm gonna save that to put on top. And then I'm gonna add in some spinach just to give this a little color mainly. Blend it up. I accidentally just made green eggs and ham. I should have just ripped up the spinach and put it in the individual. Yeah, it's literally green. If you're trying this, put the spinach in after the blend. But we move onward and we're gonna pop these in the oven. Those are in the oven for 20 to 22 minutes. I already forgot, I should set a timer. 20 to 25 minutes. I set a timer for 20 minutes, we'll check them. In the meantime, I also wanna prep lunch. Lunch is always so hard for me. I never know what to do for lunch. I feel like I need it to be hearty enough because if I have a small lunch, like I literally turn into a bitch. But I also want it to be healthy, and I'm like, how much should I be caring about bread? How much should I be caring? I don't know, it's so hard nowadays to figure out like what is truly healthy versus what is just like a trend. Like I'm trying to focus on whole foods, on real foods, and I'm trying to cut out as much processed stuff as possible. So bread is one of those things where I'm like, if I get good bread, if I get like well-made bread, it's not too bad, but like standard bread is very processed. I do want to try and explore sourdough. I've been saying this for actually years, but I think now's the time. I've also said that for years, but I think making my own bread is the solution. So maybe one day we'll get to that. But for right now, okay, I was talking about lunch, ramble. For lunch, I think I'm gonna prep some salads. I'm gonna see how that goes for this week, and then we'll refine. And I'm really gonna check in with myself throughout the week. Like, is it enough food? Is it the right types of food? Like, I really wanna refine this throughout the week. Usually when I try and meal prep, I try something and then I'm like, oh, it's great. And then by day 3, I'm like, oh, it sucks. And then I never try it again. Like, I never refine. So I just wanna try and keep refining this time. So we're doing spinach salad with chicken, strawberries, almonds, some onion, and some goat cheese. Is that it? I think that might be it. I literally finished prepping these as my timer went off for the egg bites. Like, that is coordination like none other. That feeds my soul. These are still green eggs and ham. Oh, no, those need a little longer. Okay, I'm gonna put those in for 5 more minutes, but those are looking good. Shut up, this is so exciting. I haven't been excited like this since I spontaneously bought Taylor Swift Eras Tour tickets and bought them and then went to the concert an hour later. I haven't been excited like this since I heard about the One Tree Hill reboot. Should I just keep going? I haven't been excited like this until I convinced my parents to get a dog in 7th grade because I plastered pictures of dogs all around the house, and that didn't work. But then what I did do is I went and created like a brief, like a business proposal brief, and I like formally submitted it to them. That worked. If you're trying to convince your parents to get a dog, do that. Write every single question they could ever have and then write an answer to it. They'll be so impressed. You'll have a dog within a month. Like, have you ever seen a more amazing salad? It's lunchtime, it's a little later, and there's something so satisfying about the way I just took the Tupperware, dumped it, and it was a beautiful salad. Like, when I've prepped salads in the past, I've still kept all of the ingredients separate. So I would like have the spinach, I would like chop up what needed to be chopped up, but I would have like all the chopped up strawberries together, all the chopped up onions together in a different Tupperware, and then every day for lunch I would just like put the ingredients together. But there's something so wonderful and so satisfying about just having the salad ready and just dumping it. Like, we'll see, I'll keep you posted throughout this week, but I feel like that alone is gonna keep me reaching for the salad, and it's gonna keep me excited because it's literally so fun. I just dumped it out and then I drizzled dressing over it, and now I have a wonderful salad filled with everything that I like. That's another thing that I think is funny. Like, when you guys follow recipes, do you just follow the recipe or do you tailor it to exactly what you like? Because I was talking to my sister about this a while ago, and she was saying that like when she makes recipes, if it calls for like snap peas or something, she'll put the snap peas in it. Like, if it's a salad or a stir fry or something, she'll put the snap peas in it, but she doesn't like snap peas, and she'll just like pick around the snap peas. And I'm like, Allie, you know you could just not add the snap peas. But I could see how a lot of people do that because it's like, oh, it says I need snap peas. I'm gonna buy snap peas, I'm gonna put them in. But then you don't think about how like, actually I don't want those. Like, I could see how you could think it needs to be in there, or like that you could think like you can't just replace it. And I'm a picker arounder. Like, I will pick around what I don't like. And so it's so nice to have a salad that I handmade, that I know everything in here I want and I'm excited to eat. It's so good. And it's also so quick. Like, again, I just dumped it out and poured dressing over it. And I think having a quick lunch is gonna be more important to me now than it was before. Like, it was still important to me before because I would not always have a super long break for lunch. But now with me working LA hours in Chicago, like, my lunch doesn't fall when everyone else's lunch happens. So I feel like my windows for lunch are gonna be even shorter. Because like when I break for lunch, it's gonna be a little early for everyone else. So I could imagine that people are still gonna be pinging me, and I could imagine that we're still gonna be having calls like during my lunchtime. So I would guess that I'm just gonna have a smaller window, and I'm gonna have lunch be like something that's very sneaky and quick. So I'm excited about this. I had already eaten breakfast before I meal prepped this morning, so the egg bite taste test, that's gonna be tomorrow. It's a little later and I am just touching up my makeup a little bit because we're getting ready to go out to dinner. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Tessa, you have been talking all day about getting a routine going, and going out to dinner on a Monday is not the way to get a routine going. Oh, that's a lot of bronzer. blend. I think I fixed that. But yeah, you're right. It's not the way to get a routine going. But we're trying to make friends, and you know what is part of a routine? Hanging out with friends. And we can't do that if we don't know that many people in Chicago. So we are actually hanging out with a few people that we met that live in the same building as us. And they seem nice, so I'm excited. These are the first people that we met just like naturally out and about. We are actually now hanging out with. It's kind of crazy. I feel like this type of thing really, really rarely, if never, happened in LA. Here we go. That's a better angle. But yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited that something like this is happening so soon. I feel like one of the things that I was really nervous about moving to a new city as an adult is the whole like friend making thing, because I think it's pretty hard to make friends as an adult. I feel like all the friends I've ever made in life have either been like through school or through like friends of friends. And we do know some people in Chicago, like all of my sister's husband's siblings are here. One of my sister's friends is here. I have like friends of friends here. So we do have like some people we can reach out to just like hang and do stuff with, and I'm sure we'll meet people through them, but we are gonna have to like actually like go out and make friends like we're doing right now. And I'm just like, where do I go? How do I do that? How does that happen? And I think the answer to that is kind of the same answer that everyone says when you're looking for like a boyfriend or a husband or something. Everyone always says like it just happens. It happens when you're least expecting it. I feel like that's kind of how like adult friendships happen. Like we met our neighbors in an elevator. It was not like we weren't like out trying to make friends. But I think you do have to be a little intentional that when you do kind of bump into these people, whether it's out and about or like through a friend, you have to capitalize on it. You have to do something about it. You have to make the plan. But I'm an introvert, so the whole making the plan part is like the hardest thing for me. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. Doing something social on a Monday is like so anti my norm and so anti my normal routine, but you got to do what you got to do when you're in a new city, and that's all the more reason to have the rest of your day be more structured and just be more organized, because you can see how easy it would be to be in a new city and just have no organization whatsoever. Like so many things could so easily slip. So getting a routine in place, only to break it sometimes, the way to go. This is the outfit. Also, look at this room, kind of looking like a room behind me. I think I want to get some new bedding. We're gonna put some art up here. But we've got the nightstand all set up. Things are really coming together. I'm liking it. I'm still obsessed with this mug. And it's kind of the perfect amount of coffee for me, because any more coffee than this and I start to freak out. So this is honestly good portion control as much as it is cute. And I still haven't decided if I'm gonna use this as decor or if I'm just gonna use it as a mug. But I was thinking I could kind of do both because we have some glass windows, so I might make them look cute in the glass windows as decor. I don't know. But now it's time to try the egg bites. I just popped it from the fridge into the microwave for a minute. I put some Tabasco on it. Now let's give it a try. I mean, honestly, this is amazing. That's breakfast. I will say that the top is way more fluffy than the bottom. I think some of the heavier like cottage cheese and cheese bits fell to the bottom. But I think that's because when I was blending, I realized I was making green eggs and ham. So I kind of stopped blending because I didn't want to pulverize all of the spinach. But I think it did need to be blended a little more. So next time, blending for longer, and then once the mixture is all fully blended, then I'll chop up some spinach, mix it in, fold it in, but I won't blend it in. And I think that'll make the texture better, and it also won't make these green eggs and ham. The recipe also said to put bacon in it, and I didn't do that this time, but I'm thinking maybe next week. I'm thinking of getting those little amylou sausages and maybe chopping those up really small and maybe popping those in, because little breakfast sausages in here would be so good. Or I could just eat them on the side with the egg bite. But yeah, last night was so fun. We went to this really cool barbecue spot. It had like string lights. It was in kind of a little alley. It was so cute, like amazing vibes, like incredible food. It was so good, and I think we made friends. They were so nice, and they're like relatively new to living in the city, so it feels like if we were to hang out with them, we'd be like exploring together, which would be nice. I will say though, I need to chill when it comes to overthinking about myself in a social situation. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times once we got home, I thought about like jokes that I told. I thought about like stories that I said. And I was so hyper self-critical, and I was like, ooh, should I have done that? Should I have done that? Should I have done that? Like, and it doesn't make any sense to me, because when I think about social settings with other people, never am I ever about the person that I'm with criticizing what they're saying and they're doing. Like, I'm never like, ooh, why would she say that? Why would she do that? Unless it's like crazy. But like for a normal hang and for a normal situation, like I'm never criticizing anyone else. And so I don't know why I assume that people are going to be so hypercritical of me. Like it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't matter at all who the people are. Like they could be the nicest people in the world and I would still be convinced that the second we part ways, they are picking me apart, which is just like not happening. So I need to figure out a way to like quiet those thoughts, because I know that they are just like intrusive thoughts. Like they're not helpful. They're just like my anxiety talking. And I'm self-aware enough, like if I did say something that was weird or wrong, like I would know it. I wouldn't be questioning it. I would know like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. So if anyone out there has any tips, then let me know, because the only thing that sucked about yesterday was like how I was talking to myself afterwards. And it had nothing to do with the people we were hanging out with. They were so nice. But yeah, it's all me. So I need to figure this out because it's a me problem. But now I'm gonna run and go get my nails done, because look at this situation. It's actually so horrible. The nails that I do have are so grown out, and I did lose 2 nails. And it's just like, I can't. Like if I'm talking about getting a new routine in place, like nails are a part of my routine. I need to figure that out. So I found a spot. We'll see how it goes. Every place that I called seems to be doing a Russian manicure. I've never had that before. I don't even know what it's like. I don't know what it's about. I've heard that it's like good. I've heard that it's healthy for your nail, but I have no clue what it's gonna be like. It's a Russian manicure, and then they're gonna put hard gel on top. I'm a dip girl, and then I just get like a dip fill. So I'll be interested to see how the hard gel compares to the dip. But I hope I like this place, because if I have a nail spot that I like know I can call and is my spot, like that's a huge part of my monthly routine, like checked, figured out, all set. When I tell you, I think this is the best manicure I've ever gotten. Like my cuticles, where are they? You can't see them. My nail, but it's beautiful. It's so thin, and they absolutely crushed the shape. I'm so happy, although that did take a full 2 hours. Like it's 11 a.m. I have to start work. I'm hoping that it took longer because they had to remove the dip that was on my nails. So I'm hoping that added at least 30 minutes. Because a 2-hour nail appointment, that's long. Even for me, who likes to just like sit, that's long. But I'm also really proud of myself, because I was taking little clips in there to include in the vlog, and she asked me, she was like, why are you taking clips? And I just told her, I was like, oh, I'm putting together a vlog of my day today. Like if anyone had ever asked me that in the past, even as soon as a week ago, I would just be like, oh, I like to take videos, or oh, I'm just taking a picture. Like I wouldn't have said that I'm gathering clips for the purpose of like putting them together to show something about my life to the internet. Like I would have never said that. But I'm trying to take what I was saying this morning to heart about like, I need to stop worrying so much about what everyone else thinks. Like I know I have good intentions. I know I'm self-aware. I know that what I'm doing in my life is like making me proud. So the potential that someone could misunderstand me, like that's okay. And odds are they're not gonna misunderstand me. Odds are they're gonna understand, and they're gonna see exactly who I am. But if someone doesn't and they're judging me, like that's okay. So yeah, step 1 is just like leading with my authentic self and telling the nail lady, I'm filming a vlog. It's baby steps, but also like you gotta be confident in this life. And even though I might not feel it all the time, I think there is something so real in faking it till you make it. And when I told her I was filming a vlog, like nothing bad happened. She was like, oh, okay. Like it was fine. And I think the more I like push myself to just like be myself and to just like express myself, I'm gonna realize more and more that it's fine, it's okay. And hopefully I'm gonna second guess myself less and less and less. Just got back from Pilates, got ready for the day. I love reformer Pilates. It is my perfect style of workout because you work your body so hard. Like you're doing tough stuff and you're like really making yourself stronger. But it's so chill. It's so calm. Like it's so nice in there. Although I definitely did not drink enough water before I went. I had like a woozy moment where like I kind of did see stars for a second. I was like I did have a moment. So need to hydrate better next time. It was also kind of warm in there, and I don't think it was like on purpose, because sometimes, you know, there's like hot yoga and stuff like that. Like I don't think it was meant to be warm in there on purpose. I think it just kind of happened to be warm in there, but that added to the whole woozy situation too. I also walked there with Miles because he walks to work every day, and the Pilates place was like in the same kind of route, and so that is also a really cool like potential routine. And it was really fun to just like get out in the morning and walk with him. Like that was so fun, and I could see that being like a fun routine for us. The only thing is that Pilates place gets booked so far in advance. Like it was just by chance that there was an opening this morning, but literally for the next 3 weeks, every single class, every morning class, every midday class, every afternoon class, every class for the next 3 weeks is booked. And that's enough of a barrier for me to never go. So I don't know if that's the best place for me to like have a membership. I don't know if that's the best place for me because all I need is a slight barrier for me to never do anything. So I don't know, it might not be the best place for me. But Miles and I have been trying out solid core, and the first class was brutal. The first class was really, really bad. But then the second class, once you get the hang of it, and once you realize, honestly for me, once I realized how to take breaks while still blending in, it felt more doable. And that is the same style of workout. I feel like I was working my body in the same way. It was a little more intense, but solid core has way more openings and it's way easier to book. So that might be what we got to do. But I've also noticed this week, and I wasn't thinking that this would be the case, but again, I'm working LA hours, so I have a bit of an extended morning. And before we moved here, I was a little nervous that like the extended mornings would like cause me to like sleep in and just like do nothing. Like I could easily see a situation where I'm like lazying around. Like I thought that would be a lot easier to do. But actually, weirdly, I find myself waking up at the same time, if not kind of earlier than I woke up in LA. Because I think it's psychological, but there's something about it where I feel like when I was trying to wake up early in LA, even when I did wake up early, I didn't have a lot of time. Like I'd be waking up earlier to give myself like 20 more minutes, 30 more minutes, and that just didn't seem like worth it. I'd be like, what's the point of waking up earlier? Like what, so I have like 15 more minutes, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't, I don't know, I didn't have enough motivation. But now waking up earlier, I'm like, oh, I should wake up earlier because then I have so much time. Like weirdly, having more time feels more worth it to me, and I'm like, oh, I should wake up early because then I got all these hours, I got all this time. And so it's kind of weirdly, even though I'm working later, it's causing me to wake up earlier, which for the back end and the back half of the day, like working later after waking up earlier, it's I need more energy, and that's why the meal prepping and what I'm eating is gonna be even more important, because I am just like having longer days now. But yeah, I'm feeling way more settled. I'm feeling really good. I feel like I have a routine now. I feel like I'm really like settling in. Like I feel like the past few weeks I was just kind of like getting settled, and I was just kind of like surviving the transition. But now I feel like the transition's been made. Obviously there's still a lot to do. Obviously we're not totally settled, but I feel like okay. And I feel like now that I feel a little more solid, I'm ready to just start seeing what this new chapter is gonna be. Like we've survived the transition, we've made it here, we've got things under control. Now let's see like what this next chapter could actually be. So yeah, I'm really excited. Oh, and a salad update. The salads, taste-wise, perfect, great, amazing. I loved them. But I feel like after lunch most days I was craving some kind of carb. And I'm a firm believer, cravings are there for a reason. You gotta listen to them. Like there are obviously healthy ways to indulge and not healthy ways, but if you're craving a carb, it's because you need it. So I gotta figure out a way to bring that in. Maybe it's croutons, maybe it's like adding in some rice. I gotta keep tweaking, but I wanna keep tweaking. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I wanna keep tweaking. I wanna figure out how to make it right. But yeah, I'm feeling very excited, and I'm feeling very much like we live here now, which is cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll see you guys next time.